Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about Anatomy movie. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. This is the story of Anatomy, a girl who is very much. He has always topped his school and college. She was becoming a doctor and in her 4th year too. Because of topping, he gets an offer to complete his final year from a very big university, whose name was University of Heidelberg. She goes and tells her grind park that it was too much. Those who were admitted in the hospital at this time. He is very happy after hearing the news and tells him that no one gets the opportunity to go to such good universities just like that. You should give it a try. I have also been a part of this university. And this university is famous for its research working games. After going home, Paula tells this to her mom and dad. The strange thing was that his dad was not happy with his scholarship. Also, those going to the University of Heidelberg were also not happy with his decision, and this made him sad. Her sadness is not tolerated by her mother, and finally they allow Paula to go to university. So in the cut, we are shown a scene at the university hotel where a man was lying on the dissection table. Doctors were operating on him. In the midst of the operation, he regains consciousness, and when he sees 80 doctors taking his body out and keeping it outside, he becomes obsessed with it. He wants to stop them with his hands, but his hands also shake. Couldn't find it. He opens his mouth to say something but is unable to speak and is killed just like that. Here we are seen on the train to Heidelberg, where he meets a student from the University of Heidelberg, whose frankness makes him and Paula soon become friends with each other. The train was moving fast towards Heidelberg, and during this journey she almost became a doctor when she suddenly raised an alarm about someone having a heart attack. That is to handle this emergency situation. They save this girl's life just in time by giving her some emergency treatment along with CPR. After which we see the boy traveling with Paula all fine. Another name for Organer is David. He thanks Paula for saving his life. These people now reach the university, and seeing such a big and wonderful university, Ola's happiness was beyond measure. Paula decides to stay with Chan in the university hostel, after which both of them take a tour of the university together. Reach while walking. As soon as these people come near a mortuary, where dead bodies are kept, suddenly a dead body shakes badly. Paula was shocked to see this. Both her companions who came with her were scared. She runs away from here, but was not afraid at all because she knew that any body can melt only when an electric impulse is given to it. She goes near this body and starts looking for the reason for its movement. For that very reason, when the cloth was removed from the dead body, she could not even help for a few minutes because her head was not on this dead body. But then she still tries to find out the reason for its shaking, and after checking the body thoroughly, she finds some viruses and chips attached to the body. Jin chases the virus and reaches a secret room where some seniors were sitting to rag everyone. They were just putting electric impulses in the body to scare these people, and this was the reason why Body Gale did it. Now because Paula was not afraid, they all got impressed by Paula's bravery. She is invited to a relief party where her friend also attends, and she has also invited the train boy David. Here David, who had gone to a party at Case University, did he know that this party would be his last fun? Because as soon as DeWitt walks into the washroom, some unknown man injects him in the neck and renders him unconscious. No one knew who he was. He had dragged David's body somewhere, and the people at the party outside were unaware of this. Ola and Britcher also had a lot of fun in this party. So Degree doesn't even remember that he had called David here as well. We see David lying on the dash section table. There are other doctors near him who are talking among themselves about doing debit card dissection. That is, her brother-in-law is talking to everyone about removing her body parts, and at the same time, David has also regained consciousness. To save himself, he picks up a blade of the doctor kept nearby, and as soon as the doctor comes near David to give him an injection, he immediately attacks TV DOS and tries to run away. But then another doctor attacks him from behind and kills him. The next day, Paula had her first class in this university, where Professor Graham Beck gives her the first lecture and tells her that she is recognized all over the world for her research, and the doctors produced from our university are the best doctors in the world, and in the coming few years, his name will also be among those best doctors. In such a situation, it is our responsibility to give you the best knowledge and best education. South only, we will also give you experience here. Doctors take them to the anatomy dissection room where doctors do experiments on the bodies of dead people. Many human skeletons are seen here, about which Professor Drombach tells them that they are fake. But in appearance all these looked absolutely real. No, Paula sees her grandfather's name written under one of the scansion. Excitedly, she tells Professor Grombe that Skelton has made her a grind party. In response, Professor Crumbag says, but he must have been a very promising student of this university, and after becoming a professor, he must have done a lot of research work. And after hearing these things, Paula was feeling very proud of her grandpa. Now finally the time had come that the student himself did the post-mortem. Paula was shocked to see the dead body in front of her, because it was none other than David, whose life she had saved just 2 days earlier. Professor Grom Beck asks Ola to find out where this man's heart is, but on the contrary, Polak Drombix asks the question, how did this man die? There is nothing on his body due to which it can be said that he died of some disease. Here Professor Grombag donates to him and says, sir, I should give skin on his work. This mattress is not yours. How can this man be being prepared for some research? After hearing these things, Bola and Gretchen start doing the work, but both of them feel something black in the pulse, and to find out, they hide David's blood sables with them. While researching this blood in the lab, Ola discovers very strange chemicals inside the blood, which chemicals are not found in the body of a normal human being. Bola discusses this with one of her friends and asks him to trace the chemical. The boy tells her that not only blood, but also some tissues of her body are needed. To trace the chemical, she agrees to whatever is asked. For this mission, Paula goes to the mortuary and takes out David's body from the freezer and steals some of his tissues. During this time he noticed that there were triple marks on David's feet. She was almost free after completing her work when suddenly the attendant of this place comes here and asks, what are you doing here? He doesn't understand anything. She lies and asks Professor Grombach to bring David's body here, to which the attendant tells her that due to the university's policy, he should not give this information to a student. Can the person who learned from you that Paula is investigating David's death tells this news to someone over the phone? Surely he must be giving this news about the murder of David. In the next scene we see Bola and his friend Gretchen in the library. He was discussing David's death only. Then Paula notices more triple marks on David's body, about which she starts research in the box. He comes to know that this is the site of a secret society where people used to experiment on living people for medical science research, which was illegal. These people used to make such people their victims who already have some major disease, so that they can observe the changes taking place in the body of the person due to this disease, can do research on it, and also can dispose the dead body of this person to some other place. Can be used for other research papers also. It turns out that the skeletons shown in the previous scene were also made from these same humans, seeing which the children were able to clear their concepts better. The name of this society was Anti-Hippocratic Society, which was doing this work for the last 100 years, and Hadley Bird's University had a deep relationship with this society. Only Veman used to do research on people, but with the passage of time, when the world became word 2, Germans, snakes, innocent people were also used for these research purposes. Now Paula Kuschik is that this society still works in the University of Heidelberg, and the people associated with it have definitely murdered David. Because he was a heart patient, this daughter tells a story about all his theories. All these stories exist only in books. Nothing like this can happen in effect. David must have been killed by his enemy. While they were talking about people, Paula gets a call from her friend, to whom he had sent David's blood samples and his body tissues. It was revealed that David was killed by a chemical which, after entering a person's body, soon turns the body into a plastic by energizing all the blood in his body. All these lying in the lab were the same for so many years. After that he feels sad after choosing. There is some big game going on and he goes and gives the news of it to Professor Drumbeck, who on hearing his words scolds him once again and says that it was I who forbade you and not you. If you stay away from debit cases, I should concentrate on my studies. I don't understand why. This is your final year, isn't it? Paula now returns to her room. As soon as she lay down on the bed, she realized that her entire bed was full of bones. There was a lot of sugar under the bed and some dandelions were also lying there. All this seemed to him to be related to some prophet. He feels that this is also the work of Anti-Hippocrates Society. Again she goes to the lab and finds out this while doing research from books. When the people of Anti-Hippocrates Society wanted to punish someone, they used to keep a flood and a candle under his stomach before doing the joint. The sign is that the person has interfered in their work, and if that person still does not come near, then in the second wording they make 3 cuts on his leg. For the third warning they would make 3 cuts on his face, and for the 4th time they would kill him. Not in the usual way, but after dividing it into 3 parts. She said that when she came back to the room, there was Nami in her room. There was a boy who was her roommate's boyfriend. She tells Ola that she is not in the time room. In response he says, "Yes, I know this. I have just come to convince her because I love her very much. I also know that she is cheating on me, but at this time I would definitely like to give her a chance." At the same time we were watching that Mohita was with another boy in the house. When Prasha does not come to his room for a long time, In also came here to find her, and when he sees her with another boy, in JLC, he kills the other boy by injecting him with a strange chemical. It was not only this girl who had given the same injection. To save himself, OK tried to get out of here by sliding, but he felt as if all the blood in his body was drying up. She is unable to do anything for herself and dies here. After that, how does he first clean the boy's blood and then put both of them in the freezer? Even after putting them in the freezer, he was afraid that people would recognize both of them. That's why he slits the throats of both of them in the morning and sees that everyone in the university is shocked by the news of that boy's disappearance. Bola was also looking for her friend. Tracing their whereabouts, he reaches Mohita Gar, where he gets hold of the tax attendant's diary. Here she comes to know that the boy who had brought David to this campaign was sitting in front of her just 2 minutes ago. She gets upset seeing him, and at this time he places her friend's severed finger in front of her. To make sure that he gives up the pursuit of David's case, otherwise the same thing will happen to you as has happened to your friend. Fearing all these things, she goes to Furan police station and asks the police to write a report of her friend's death, but the police does not listen to him. On returning from the police station, he gets a message that he gets him a dead house. Here he shows her the corpse of the kitchen, which she was very scared to see. It was fed on the kitchen's bosses out of these blades so that the Polar would get more scared, and without telling anyone about it, the Polar director is the chest from here, and that boy was also continuously following him. While running away, she reaches the basement, where she gets the same injection inside which humans were considered by filling the chemical. Fearing she picks up this injection and then Professor Bromika from behind, he felt that it is a hand that they get the injections quickly to kill, but Professor Crumbaig relaxes her here. Listen to me, the professional is doing research on the Anti-Hippocrates Society, so here she tells the reality of this society to him and says that I am also a part of this society. This society has been doing research for medical science for the last 3 years, and if this society was there, medical science has progressed so much till date. Neither will I be surprised to know that your grandfather was also a member of this society. He should also. This is behind the big research. And this chemical that converts humans into plastic, it has also been made by them. This thing does not want the hailstorm to consider her grind bar as her ideal, and she too were like she wanted to talk about this with her grandpas. But it is a pity that her grandpa dies on the same day, and in the next we see a meeting of the Anti-Hippocrates Society, where the court was installed for hen only. Actually, he had killed 2 people who were not even ill, nor were he victims of Anti-Hippocrates Society. He used the Anti-Hippocrates Society fallen authority for his caste enmity and Anna. The society was also becoming a threat to the society. while he tells the people of Hen Society, "Whatever I am doing it for you people." Professor says on the answer, he does not ask him to put 3 cuts on his body as a punishment. He must come and put 3 dirts on top of his mouth, and goes to the war and go to kill them even more. After hearing this, the people of the society decide to hand over the police to the police. This decision brings them to the business. He did not want to go to jail. That is why he cuts his professor at night and who was at his house at this time. Because of his grandpa field, he goes to his room and searches his things, where he gets confirmed that he was still part of the anti-Hippocrat society, and this thing was making him very sad. To ask for her grief, you come to a friend, who supports her. On the morning, she sees honor that her belongings also had many things that used to meet the anti-Hippocrat society. That is, she was also part of her society, and seeing that she gets so angry that she gets beaten up from here. But now if the university wants to work in the university's basement where the people of the anti-Hippocrat society used to work, where there are many skeletons from humans which were made from humans, and this is that he also gets the boy who had committed 3 murder before now. He was making a scanner of a friend of the plant here, who gets scared and screams loudly. Before she survived, she leaves from here, puts her an injection. When she regained consciousness, she was on the test section table. No one could go to the table from where he survived. She tries to move her hands but feels that her hands are not able to move. His blood is also freezing. It is known that the same chemical has been injected inside him which turns the blood of humans into plastic. She already knew about this chemical, so she also knew about its antidote. She sees that her friend has come here at this time. She is surprised to see her, but she knows that this boy was big of anti-Hippocrat society. He just came to do research on him. Here, he has been explained to him soon early and asks him to help himself. She tells her that my life is in danger. Whatever you do, bring it from somewhere here or bring chloride. The boy then quickly brings an injection of sodium chloride and puts it. He had just got an injection that a cold boy goes here. That is, he gives him unconscious by giving him a friend of the anti-Hippocrat society and starts talking about Paula's dear eyes. Both of them were talking that they would divide Paula's body in 2 parts. They had no idea that despite the chemical injection given by them, Paula was conscious. Winning also picks up Paula's second friend here and puts it on the dissection table. Then Paula, who is getting the opportunity, attacks him here and puts the same injection on him, which makes him unconscious. Seeing him doing this, he has a hosash on him. He moves towards him to kill him. He had surgery bread in his hand. As soon as he attacks the plant, Paula is saved from this attack and is won from the breaker box behind him to save his life. By removing the wire of the voltage grade, she kills hand coke current. His second was also dead due to the chemical given by Paula. While he did not eat his friend, came to the hospital where his life is saved. In the last scene of the story, it is shown that the anti-Hippocrat society now has 2 more in such a situation that will work for them to kill and decide them. That is, people working with whom they had just fought. It was clear that Paula's battle is not over yet. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.